everyone, and welcome to YarnGasm. I'm Kristen, and this is episode 193. We're almost at 200, you guys. But yeah, this is a podcast about knitting, spinning, hand-dyeing yarn, making, sewing in Brooklyn, New York, where I'm from and I live. And as always, I'm excited that you're here to chat about those things with me. And yes, we have a YarnGasm Ravelry group. If you have not joined already, please do. As always, there's lots of chatter and conversation going on in there, and it's the place to be if you would like to win a prize or partake in one of our knit-alongs. And speaking of knit-alongs, I'm going to be announcing a couple of winners for the Waiting for Rain knit-along, which we've been doing for the past, I feel like it's been 2 months. So yeah, I will be announcing those winners shortly. But yes, join the YarnGasm Ravelry group, and I am at Voolenvine, Voolenvine, on Instagram and pretty much everywhere else on the web, but mainly Instagram and Ravelry. And yes, so okay, let's talk winners. So I hosted a Waiting for Rain knit-along, which is a shawl pattern by Sylvia Bobilvia. It's a downloadable paid-for pattern on Ravelry. If you have not heard of it, please do check it out. It's gorgeous, and you should totally make one, even though I'm still working on mine, and I totally dropped the ball when I came to completing mine, but a knit-along is a knit-along, so I have winners to share with you. Okay, so we have 4 prizes to give away, and the first one is this gorgeous, and oh, by the way, I used randomnumbergenerator.org. What was it? I think it was random.org, whichever that random number generator site is. I believe it's random.org to choose the winners at random. So, yes, and I closed the thread today. I was supposed to close it on May 1st, but I dropped the ball on that one again and totally forgot to do that. So you got a couple of extra days to join in if you had been meaning to. So, but this first prize that we're giving away is this lovely braid by NARWHAL Needleworks, and it's the colorway Woolly Mammoth. And you guys, this is so beautiful. And it's spinning fiber, and the composition is mixed BFL, and the colorway is Woolly Mammoth. And here's her logo. And yeah, and I met Emily at, oh goodness, Vogue Knitting Live, and she is just so lovely, and I just want to say hello again to Emily, and thank you so much for donating this really beautiful, gorgeous, super generous prize. And the winner of that was, and I'm dropping my show notes, the winner of that was number 393, SMINE, S-M-I-N-E, on Ravelry, and she knit hers in this gorgeous purple ombre version. It was just really beautiful, and when I saw it, my eyes just like lit up. So I'm really excited that she won this. So congrats, SMINE, you win this beautiful, beautiful braid. Please send me your info, and I will get this out to you ASAP. Just send me a PM on Ravelry, letting me know, you are the one of the Waiting for Rain Cal Prize winners, and the same goes for all the winners that I will announce today. So congrats, yay! So that goes in here. And the next up, we have a couple of more lovely prizes. This is a prize donated by the lovely Mina of the Knitting Expat podcast. Last time she was in New York, she wonderfully donated, wonderfully, I'm trying to think of another word other than generously, but there's no other way to go around it. It's super generous. Anytime I get a giveaway prize, it's just so wonderfully generous of the people who donate them. So yes, super generous giveaway prize from Mina Makes. Here's her logo, if I can do that, in this super fun cityscape project bag. And yeah, so the lucky winner of this one is number 190, PACHA, P-A-C-H-A, who knit her Waiting for Rain shawl out of this really gorgeous Madeline Tosh merino light, based in coal steam, which is kind of like this really subtle variegated purple. So yay, congrats, you win this awesomely awesome project bag by Mina Makes. Yay! Okay, so that is going in here for safekeeping. Next up, we have this awesome I always get knitting I love needle pouch from Barbara. Thank you so much, Barbara, for donating this. This is really fun. These are super handy. You get a needle gauge, and you get 2 needle cozies, and these little cute, adorable labels that you can stitch onto all your hand knits. And this is the Flower Power collection, the big set. So yeah, lots of fun in here. And let me see, anything else that I wanted to mention about that? Yeah, so okay, the winner of this is number 222, BEECHARLY, and she knit her Waiting for Rain out of cream plucky, this really beautiful, again, another cream plucky knitter in the twill colorway. So really stunning, really beautiful, and totally deserving of this awesome giveaway prize. So yay, congrats again. And last but not least, the last prize that we have to give away is a pattern by Michael Dwarjan, who is, oh goodness, Penguin, why can I never remember his, I can never remember his Ravelry handle, but I will put it in the down bar. But he designs these really gorgeous patterns. I've met Michael. We've hung out at knitting meetups. He's awesome. So thank you so much, Michael, for donating this generous pattern, beautiful pattern. It's called the Quick Gift Drop Stitch Mitts, and the winner of that one is 361 by who is KNITPEOPLEKNIT, who knit her Waiting for Rain shawl out of blue Malabrigo sock yarn in the PACHA colorway. So excellent. And again, congrats. And yes, if you won, just PM me on Ravelry and I will get those out to you ASAP. Yay! Awesome. So that pretty much concludes all the announcements that I have for this week and knit along information. So I'm going to move straight along into mail because I received a really, really wonderful package from Darlene of Bags by Awesome Granny this week. She has an Etsy shop, and I actually heard of her bags through, I think it was the Legacy Knits podcast. Chelsea and Sue were talking really highly of them, and lo and behold, Darlene contacted me and wanted to know if she could send me some. So, but not only did she send, I have a kitty on my lap, guys. Not only did she send one project bag, but she sent two, one for me and one to give away to one of you lucky viewers for a giveaway prize. But she asked me to look at her website and let her know which bag that I liked. And of course, you know, unicorns, guys. I had to go with the unicorns because you know how much I love me some unicorns, but how awesome! Awesome Granny, you are awesome because this print is just so awesome. Yeah, it's got unicorns, it's got shooting stars, it's got birds, love, peace, everything on it, and it's huge. Can we talk about the size? And are you ready for this? The inside. Can we talk about the inside? It just blows my mind, and it's so well made. And here's her label, Bags by Awesome Granny. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And here's her card. So thank you so much, Darlene. You went above and beyond, and totally unnecessary, but I love it. Thank you. And I cannot wait to find a knit along to give away. So, you know, so one of you can enjoy these really awesome bags as well. But yeah. Anyway, I'm trying to think. So that was really awesome to get in the mail, and that really made my day. Obviously, it made me smile when I opened the package. So yeah, that was very cool. So thank you again. And otherwise, I think we are finally ready. I'm sure you want to see what I've been making. So the first thing that I've been working on this week has not been, not a lot of progress has been made on it, but it's living in my project bag from the Tangled Skein, which I love. It's just been, following me around the apartment. I keep it next to me while, we're watching TV, Dennis and I. But yeah, inside is living my vestigial socks out of Into the World. There's a little bit of a tangle in here, but it's Into the World in the mildly amusing colorway, which I purchased at Rhinebeck last year. And yeah, no real progress on the second sock. I have to admit, I am losing steam on these a little bit. I don't know why. It might just be the combination of the pattern. I love the pattern, but the colorway, I'm just getting a little, it's less than mildly amusing at this point. It's kind of like I'm kind of over. Have you ever knit a pair of socks or knit with a colorway that you were excited about, and then as you're knitting the project, you're just kind of like, all right, I'm kind of ready to move on to the next thing now, especially because they're a pair of socks. I feel like I'm ready to move on to the next pair. I feel like I've been working on these way too much, and I'm a little over it, you know, if that makes any sense at all. But I'm going to persevere. I'm going to plug away at it and finish it because, yeah, they are nice socks. I like the way they're knitting up. I like the way they're turning out. I'm just ready to move on to another pair at this point because I feel like it's been over a month since I've been working on these, and socks should not take that long. I'm sorry, but just for my own personal, in my own personal world, I don't think socks should take any more than like 3 weeks at most. But anyway, that's just me. And I'm knitting on Addi Turbo Sock Rockets, size 1.5, US 1.5 and 2.5 millimeter needles, which I love. They still bring me happiness and joy every week, so not complaining about them. I like them. I might buy some more. We'll see. But yeah, so into the Tangled Skein project bag it goes, and I think I got this down. Ha, like that. It's awesome. And look, popcorn. Cannot go wrong with popcorn, guys. Popcorn just exudes happiness. Yeah, so a little loopy today, guys. Okay, so next up on the needles, because that was kind of giving me a little, you know, I wasn't excited about it anymore. Of course, you know, I had to cast on another pair of socks. So what did I do? I already had a pair of, I already had this caked up, which is gorgeous yarn from Wolf and Shefa, who is Magdalena of the Wolf and Shefa podcast. Hi, Magdalena. She was so wonderful. She sent me a skein of this in her rose quartz and ice colorway. And I don't have the tag on me I have the tag somewhere, but not in front of me right now. But it's really beautiful yarn. I mean, I was going to knit fine and dandy socks out of it, but the pattern, for some reason, it's not what I wanted at the moment, so I frogged it, sadly, and then I just decided to knit a pair of plain vanilla socks, so that's what I cast on. And I'm doing contrasting heels and toes, obviously, and just plain vanilla. And this is my colorway. It's my Volca base, a merino nylon cashmere in the black pearl colorway, and yeah, this is Magdalena's colorway, the Wolf and Shefa right here, and I could not be more excited about the way this is knitting up. Look at those, like, it's so light and like these little subtle shifts in color in the back, and then you get these really nice, like, subtle flashes of violet, which I think is just so pretty. And yeah, I cast these on like 2 days ago, and you know, I've just been knitting on them here and there, in between doing things and just relaxing. So yeah, I'm really enjoying these, and these are on my carbon, same size as the last pair of socks that I'm, you know, my vestigial. They're just my carbon circulars. So, and I still love working on these as well. And yeah, so that's it. These have no designated project bag at the moment, so I've just been like picking these up and going with it. So there's that. And then the other thing that I've been working on is my hoo-hee, which I love. I still love this project. I'm so not tired of it. And I'm almost done with it, you guys. So, I mean, again, it doesn't look like I've been putting a lot of work into it, but I've been putting a lot of work into it. And it's just like back and forth garter stitch. And that's pretty much all it is for the rest of the pattern, except for, like, I think I have 2 more rows to go. And then it's going to be eyelet here, and then another couple of rows of garter, and then I think there's going to be like a picot. I'm not entirely sure. I believe it's a picot bind off. But yeah, it's almost done, and I cannot believe it's almost done. It's going to be this is going to be my go-to shawl for, you know, spring and summer. You know, whenever we go to Cape Cod, those chilly nights, this is coming with me. It'll be a good beach wrap too, because it does get windy and chilly on the beach sometimes. But anyway, yeah. And this is Hedgehog Fibers in their Urchin colorway. Again, love this colorway. And then we have Fiber Story in her Truffle colorway. And then here again is Hedgehog Fibers in the Purple Rain colorway, which is really, really beautiful. And I love these little, because it's hand dyed, you get like these little areas where it's just lighter than the rest. And it's just, that's why I really, really love hand-dyed yarns, just these little, you know, variations that pop up here and there. And of course I have my my white chocolate stitch marker by Mika, my friend Shamika. She makes these really awesome project stitch markers, and this happens to be chocolate. So yeah, it's my reward. Every time I complete a row, it's like, oh, I get to have chocolate now. So I see the chocolate and I'm like, let me just go get some chocolate. So yes. that's how I work. That's how I roll. So anyway, and yeah, these are on my Chiaogus, my red lace Chiaogus in the US size 4, and I believe am I correct? 3.5 millimeter. Yes, I've got this down, you guys. I've got the US less metric system. I'm memorizing. Yeah, I'm getting good at it. So yeah, and there's that, and it's living in my Alex Collins project bag, which I really, really like. I get so many compliments from this bag, you guys. Even my knitter friends who haven't heard of Alex Collins are like, that's really pretty. I'm like, why, yes, it's by the lovely Miss Alex Collins. You should check out her shop. So, yeah. And otherwise, that is pretty much it for what's on my needles. I have worked on my Cozy Memories, but albeit not that much. I put one square in, which I don't even know if that warrants me showing it off to you guys. But yeah, I completed it. It's boxed. So, and I really like this color, this square that I added right here. This is from, I believe, the Freakish Lemon, Adrian. We did a swap, and he sent me this awesome colorway that he got at a Renaissance Fest. I totally forgot. I had the label right in front of me, and I said I wasn't going to forget it, but of course I forgot it. But yeah, he said he got this at a Renaissance festival, and you guys, look at that. I just love, again, hand-dyed yarn does these awesome things. And I chose to use this one because it was kind of like this rusty red, and this square by No Makers has like this rust red in it also. And yeah, so again, I'm just kind of like choosing the next mini skeins based on like picking a color that a previous square had, if that makes any sense. So yeah, and that's just living in my handmade bag. Does this fabric look familiar, you guys? Yeah, I had some leftover fabric from my Anna dress that I made. This is Liberty fabric, so not, it was quite an investment, and I had, just a little bit left over to make, I don't know, not a garment, but, I thought to myself, all right, I have enough to make a couple of project bags. So what I did was I made 3 project bags, including this one, and I put one up, I put the other 2 for sale, like, on a whim, just randomly, one weekend, and I felt like a jerk just putting 2 up there, so I decided, all right, well, I'll do some pre-orders. So that's what I did. I listed 10 pre-orders, and who knew? People wanted them. So I ordered more fabric, and I'm making those. They're almost done. They're going to be ready to ship next week. So, but yeah, so I made a couple of project bags out of this, and if I have any fabric left over from that, I will see if I can, whip up a couple more. But it just makes for such a nice project bag, I think, So moving along, sadly no spinning again this week. It's getting really sad. I really have to kind of carve out some time for spinning because I have a wheel with some gorgeous NARWHAL needlework fabric on it. Clearly I have sewing on the brain. Because I have a spinning wheel with some really gorgeous, I don't know if you can see it, gorgeous NARWHAL needlework fiber on it. And yeah, I have to put a dent in it because I want to finish that. I want the yarn from that fiber because it's so beautiful. But anyway, no spinning again this week, and but I do have sewing to talk about. And clearly I'm wearing something that I'll talk about in a minute. But first, I just want to announce that I have started a blog for my sewing. I mentioned it a while ago that I did start a blog, but it's called houseofvoolenvine.com, and it's hosted by Blogger. But anyway, yeah, there I'm just going to post all my sewing projects and my progress, and anything that I want to talk about sewing related. If you are interested and you want to follow that, yeah, check it out. And it's spelled house. The way house is pronounced, or the way house is spelled in German, which is Haus. So houseofvoolenvine.com. So check it out. It's there. There's only one post on it at the moment, but I am going to try and post something on there either today or tomorrow to talk about what I've been sewing. So yeah, I'm really excited about it, and I hope you guys are too. But yes, let me talk about what I'm wearing. This is the Simplicity pattern that I started last week that I showed you with my tan and mauve skull and roses fabric that I fell madly in love with because it just makes me happy. And I know that Gabby from the Once Upon a Corgi podcast had the same fabric, and we both thought that sewing a dress out of this fabric would be just amazing. And it is a halter dress, and the pattern is from Simplicity, and it's their new look 6457. And I will post a link to that in the show notes as well. So overall, I'm really pleased with the way it turned out. As you know, as you can see, I'm not wearing a bra with it. Yay. As I thought as I usually have to with halter tops, or that's one of the reasons why I don't wear halter tops usually. But KT from Inside Number 23 had recommended that I get one of the, you can get bra inserts that, just little pads to sew into the dress that, gives you that support that, a bra would without the need to have bra straps showing, if that makes any sense. And that's what I did. I hopped on Amazon, and lo and behold, who knew, they sell bra inserts on there, and all is right with the world. So it fits very well. If I had to make this dress, well, let me get up and show you just so you can get an idea. But yeah, it has, goes to the back and has a zipper, and it has this little tie in the back. You can see. So yeah, it's a halter top. And I'm just wearing a cardigan over it because it's a little chilly. So, and I think it looks cute with the cardigan, if I don't mind, if I do say so myself. So yes. What else was I going to say? Oh, and if the only thing I would do differently, when I'm going to make this again, but the only thing I'm going to do differently is it is a little loose at the top. I think it could do with it fits well at the waist, but at the top, I made the smallest size at the top and then one size larger at the bottom because I'm a size 26 and the size I didn't want it to be exactly 26 inches around my waist, so I went with the size that they already had, which was a 26 and a half. So gives you room to move a little bit. But the top was a 33, and I am actually a 32 bust. So, but I figured okay, if I'm going to wear something underneath it, I would have a little wiggle room, but I still, even with, support underneath, I still have that extra inch that doesn't really need to be there. So when I make this again, I'm actually going to alter the pattern. I'm going to subtract a 1/4 inch at every seam at the top and just kind of, smooth the lines out, if that makes any sense, when you have all the pattern pieces lined up. So just, true up, that's what you call it. You true the pattern so everything looks hunky-dory. Anyway, I'm probably not explaining this the way I should be, but that's what I'm going to do the next time around. But otherwise, I really love the pattern, and I gave it pocketses. So yes, it has pockets. And I will try and post a photo of this just so you can see the whole thing, because it is really cute, you guys. And even, I know some people are like, oh, skulls are so morbid and ugly. I think they're awesome, guys. So if you love skulls, wear skulls. Whatever makes you happy, right? So anyway, love this dress. We'll definitely be wearing it a lot. Going to be making it again. And again, it was the new look 6457 pattern, which I think, as I mentioned last week, they should really start naming these patterns, because like Regia, you cannot remember numbers like that. It's not creative either. So anyway, that's my suggestion to Simplicity and the big 5 pattern companies out there. And if you recall, the last week I mentioned that I had a dress, the ultimate wrap dress in progress on my bust last week. And sadly, this is terrible, but I sabotaged it. Yeah, it's really sad, and I don't know exactly what happened. I followed the pattern exactly as I did last time. And it was jersey, but it was a textured jersey. So it was doing all these things that I was not expecting it to do. And, it was, long story short, I ruined it. There was no saving it. And I also surged it in areas, and it just was not happening. So sadly it bit the dust, but I love that fabric so much. I think I have to order more of it. And just kind of put it on the back, just so I have it. And then once, I don't know, I want to make a couple more ultimate wrap dresses before I even touch that fabric. But yeah, sadly, it did not pan out. But to, lift my spirits, of course, I started sewing another dress. I started it this weekend and finished it last night, and I still have to hem it, but the Lonsdale dress, which is a pattern by Sewaholics, and as I showed you fabric last week, it was this fabric right here. It's really cool. I don't even know what you call this. It's like cross thatching, and it needs an ironing, but I finished it, you guys. I have a Lonsdale dress, and I love it. I really, really love it. It looks like a sloppy mess, and I hope maybe I will try and insert a photo of me actually wearing it here. It looks very elegant, but casual at the same time, but I really love the structure of it, and yeah, it has, let me see. I actually did not have enough fabric to do the band, or the way, like, the band says the grain line had to go a certain way, and I didn't have enough fabric to do it along that grain line, so I had to do a diagonal. But I really like the effect. I really like the effect that the diagonal, or the bias strip that I cut out has on this. You know, just kind of mixes it up a little bit. It's like plaid, but you know, not really. I don't know. I'm doing a terrible job explaining this, you guys. I apologize. But yeah, in the back, it has like these little tabs. I don't know if you can see. That's so in the back, and then you just loop everything around, and it has a nice, cute little bow tie in the back. And this looks like a stringy mess right now, so I will definitely try and post a photo of it. But it also has like these really cool pockets. Let me see if I can show you. Which I really like. I am so in love with pockets, you guys. But yeah, it's pretty much done. The one thing I will say, the pattern, I'm not a fan of the way it was written. I feel like it could have been a little bit more detailed, or there were certain things where it just kind of like expected you to know how to do or what to do with certain things. And then even the way they did tell you to do things, I was like, why didn't they just do this, you know? Like the inside, we had to do slip stitches, and I don't know, at that point I was just ready to be ready to wear it already, so I did kind of, it's fairly neat, but I just kind of basted the inside to the inside. Yeah, but I did serge it in certain areas, and yeah, otherwise, the other thing, this halter top and this halter top both require you to cut out two front pieces, sew them together, and with the front pieces facing each other, sew everything, and then flip it all inside out. So that happened with this, but of course I didn't realize when I was doing it, I sewed the back part to the front piece of the skirt, and that was my like WTF moment. Like, what was I thinking? Why did I do this? So, but it was no big deal because I could just flip the tabs to the back, and you can't even see it because it's not even visible, but you see that seam right there in the back. Anyway, it's not even visible. It's one of those things where only you know it's there and nobody else does, so not complaining. And yeah, but anyway, very happy with this. We'll be wearing it a lot. I will definitely be making another one. Not very sure when, and yeah, anyway, but very pleased with it. I just have to hem it, and it will be done. Yay! So that's what I have finished for sewing this week. Another thing that I wanted to mention was I was listening to the Knit More Girls, a recent episode of the Knit More Girls podcast, which is an audio podcast. If you haven't heard of it, you've been living under a log because they've been podcasting for 8 years, you guys. You have to check out their podcast. But anyway, but yeah, I was listening to the latest episode of the Knit More Girls podcast, and Gigi, hi Gigi, she mentioned that she was very inspired to pick up sewing again after watching my podcast, which I could not be more excited about. I am so happy that I was able to inspire you to get back into sewing. So yeah, but yeah, I was listening to the episode, and Gigi had mentioned that she wanted to make a sloper, which is a term that I had not heard about ever. So of course I had to Google it and find out what it was. And so basically what a sloper is, it's a form-fitting muslin or a pattern that you create for yourself. There's no ease in it at all. It's basically just like a glove for your body. And basically you create this so when you want to create a pattern or create a dress from a pattern, you have this blueprint that you can easily adjust that pattern, so you're going to be sure that that pattern is going to fit you when you sew it. So I had no idea how important it is to create a sloper, or it seems like a very important step, and I want to make one for myself. So I may have suggested to Gigi that we have a slope along or something. But anyway, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Whatever, no pressure at all. But I'm definitely going to be creating a sloper for myself. And learning from the experience, obviously, but I believe you can either purchase a sloper kit or draft it yourself. So I haven't decided what I'm going to do yet, but I did sign up for a craftsy class, and it's called, what is it? Pattern Making Basics, the Bodice Sloper with Susie Führer. So definitely check it out. I've just started watching it. It's incredibly thorough, lots of helpful tips, I really recommend it if you are interested in creating a sloper as well. Which brings me to our sew along that I announced a couple weeks ago. But yes, we are having a sew along. What did I call it? I can never remember. Project Sew Along Season 1 because I was going to call it a summer sew along, but it may not be summer or going into summer where you live. So it's just a sew along. Project Sew Along Season 1. See what I did there? Season 1? Yes. So for the next season, we'll have, when I'm going into winter and everyone else is going into summer, we can have season 2. So it'll be fun. But yeah, so you guys, I am blown away by how many people have joined up for the sew along. It's very exciting. I'm excited. And everyone is sharing so many patterns in there. So if you need some inspiration, if you want to join, please do. All the rules are posted in there. And if you need inspiration, look no further. Everyone is sharing their patterns that they're going to be making. People have already finished some things. So definitely do check it out. And join the fun. So yay, excellent. And yes, even if you are a newbie sewer, by all means join. We're all here to help each other. So anyway, I think that is it for sewing. I'm going to move along to Ask Away because we have a question from Antoinette Flore. And yes, if you have a question that you would like me to answer on the podcast, or answer quickly, what have you, about the podcast, about me, about sewing, whatever, what have you, just ask it in the Ask Away thread, and I will see what I can do about answering it as soon as possible. Yay! So that was a lot of I feel like I'm very rambly this week, you guys. I clearly got a lot of sleep last night, and I'm jacked up on caffeine, so this is what you get. So Antoinette Flore on Ravelry asks, "Hi Kristen, I have big dreams of opening a yarn/fabric/crafty shop in our local downtown. I'm actually trying to put those dreams in motion and start working on a business plan, etc. My question for you has multiple parts. What do you look for in an LYS, which is a local yarn shop? Types/brands of yarn, needles, other products that would intrigue you, and what kind of events do you like to see hosted? Lastly, what would keep you from coming back to a local yarn shop? Sorry for such a long-winded post. Thanks for your input." Okay, thanks for that question, Antoinette. And it's a really good question. I love yarn shops that have a lot of variety in them. Any yarn shop, I feel like the majority of yarn shops have what I like to call the pigeons of yarn. I was talking to Kemper about this in our interview. But anyway, so what I mean by that is, just your average brand of yarn. Like you have Cascade. I feel like Malabrigo is a staple in many yarn shops, and Madeline Tosh is Madeline Tosh is a staple in many yarn shops. Nothing wrong with those at all. They have their place and they're gorgeous yarns. But I feel like you can find them pretty much everywhere. What I love in a yarn shop is when they have those brands that you can't easily find, such as like Hedgehog Fibers or an indie dyer, which is something that I really loved about Gauge Intention. Michelle, as I mentioned, she curated so many really interesting hand-dyed yarns by indie dyers from around the globe. She had what was it? She had Port Fibers, she had Sleep Season, she had Skeiny Dipping, she had Western Sky Knits. It was just so much variety. She had Owool. I feel like there has to be like a happy mix of variety of international, like staple yarns, indie dyed yarns, and just stuff that's, especially for us in the States, some yarns that we cannot easily obtain. So those are important. And then also I really love yarn shops that have a sense of community, a place, a big enough space where you can just go with friends, know that you can go there with friends hang out, you know, if there's a sofa, if there's just a table, somewhere that you can just congregate and hang out and not feel pressure to buy something or, you know, in that respect. And, you know, bonus points if you have food. I know La Casita in Brooklyn also has, you know, it's a very small shop, but they do have like a really cool cafe. You can go there, get wine, coffee, snacks, treats, you know, that's really, you know, that's, I feel like, that's a bonus. You know, it doesn't have to be that way, but, you know, hey, why not? Or in the very least, you know, it might be okay to bring some food in. I don't know, that would be my dream, you know, just bring some snacks. It could be a potluck, what have you. But yeah, otherwise, another thing, one of the things that keeps me from coming back to yarn shops is when I feel like I'm being watched or hovered over, or I know not all yarn shops, you know, it's one thing like if you go into a yarn shop and you have somebody like standing in the corner just watching you, like if you're, you know, make sure you're not stealing anything, or, you know, giving you the stink eye, like, what are you doing here, you know, whatever. There's that element, and then you have these other aspects where, you know, the shop owner cannot do enough for you. You know, they're just there constantly, you know, at your, you know, they want to be helpful, but at the same time, I feel like they're cramping your style a little bit. When I go into a yarn shop, I am probably going to be there for quite a long time because I have a hard time making up my mind sometimes. So, but it doesn't help when I feel like somebody is hovering over me, you know, like saying, can I help you? And then looking at what I'm looking at and then telling me about it. This has happened, which in a yarn shop, which I guess shall remain nameless for this episode. But, you know, I'm sure they meant very well, but I really did not appreciate them just talking to me while I was trying to decide, you know. So there's that, you know, definitely would kind of deter me from wanting to go back there. But again, you know, if they have a good selection and I need something and I know what I want, I'm probably going to go back there. But I'm trying to think what else. Notions. You know, obviously having a good variety of notions is very good. I know some shops only carry what they like, which is totally fine. Some shops only carry Chiaogu, some shops exclusively carry Knitter's Pride or Knit Pro. But, you know, notions are important, and, you know, you know, having the standard notions is also good, but then having, like, those little special eclectic things that you can't easily get, you know, is really fun, too, that you can personalize your knitting notions pouch, or, I don't know, just having, you know, just unique things that you can, again, just uniqueness, having those special things that you can't easily find at any other yarn shop. And just, you know, just an overall warm, welcoming atmosphere, I feel like. Just having an airy, you know, lots of natural light. Again, space, you know, it can be a tiny yarn shop, but as long as you have that warm, welcoming environment, I think you're good to go. You're gold, you know? And I want to see if I covered everything. Let me see. What kind of events would I like to see there, hosted there? Well, the yarn shop that I went to that I visited with Sharon in Poughkeepsie, the Walkway Wools, KRISTIN, who runs the shop there, she had mentioned that she had a yarn tasting where she had some wine, you know, one night she had some wine and cheese, and, you know, people would come and just, you know, hang out and chat and try the, you know, different types of yarns and stuff. It was like a sampling almost, which sounds really fun, and I would totally go to that. Especially if it was local to me. That would be so fun. But yeah, and like a local knit night would be fun. Yeah, trunk shows are always great. I personally love doing trunk shows and love going to them. And what else? I'm trying to think. Yeah. So, I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, as far as what I would expect for a yarn shop. Trying to think. Types of needles. Yeah. So anyway, I always say go for uniqueness and variety. So those are my tips. So I hope that helped and answered your question. So that said, I'm going to move along into shop update because yes, I will be having a shop update this Friday, which is May. We're into May, KRISTIN. May 6th. 2016 at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Friday. So I hope you can make it. And once again, thank you to everybody who came to last week's shop update. Thank you again for making it such a great update day and buying my yarn. And I hope by now you should have it. If you have not received it already, unless you're international. But anyway, you know how the mail works. But I hope you love the yarn that's coming to you, and I hope you love the yarn that's going to be in the shop this week. And let me pause right here because I forgot to get my basket of yarn. Okay, so this week I am actually auditioning a new base. I haven't named it yet, but it's essentially the same thing as Gatsby, but except superwash. So what does that mean? It takes color a lot better than the non-superwash. Or not, I shouldn't say better. Superwash just takes dyes differently than superwash does. With superwash it's more vibrant. With non-superwash it comes out a little less vibrant. But as a hand dye, personally as a hand dyer, I prefer my colorways to come out vibrant. So this is, again, I mentioned it's a silk braid, superwash merino and silk, and it's absolutely, I love the way it turned out. This is Dirty on Purpose. I haven't named it yet, but I might just keep it Gatsby. I haven't decided yet, but stay tuned for that. Check it out at the shop update. I will have the new name there. But yeah, so again, this is it. It has a really lovely sheen. It's a 4-ply fingering weight, but this is Dirty on Purpose. And then I had a little accident in the dye pot. I was playing around with colors like you do, and this came out. I haven't decided what I'm going to call it yet, but this will be a one-of-a-kind. It's on my footsie base. And then, of course, I will have some Outlander, because that was coming. I was getting a lot of requests for that. And then, of course, I will have Rooibos, one of my new colorways, which is a very shocking red-orange, blood-orange red, but it also kind of looks like Rooibos tea, if you've ever had it. It's a very red tea, so I had to name it that. And then I will have Jilted Rose. Oh, and these, by the way, are on my DK base, my Smitten DK, so there will be some DK there in the shop as well. But yeah, Jilted Rose. And then I will have Battlestar Galactica. Violet Star Galactica. And I don't have it today to show you, but I'm going to be dyeing some more today. I will have some Stellar Banshee, which I think Violet Star Galactica goes perfectly with, because Stellar Banshee has like those flecks of bright purple, and I feel like this goes very well with it. And then, of course, I will have some Pandora. This is it on my Nouveau base. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah. And I will also have some Venus Flytrap. And then I will also have another little, and a little more fun in the dye pot, and this came out. I have no idea what I'm going to call it yet, but it will be in the shop tomorrow. And those are all the colorways that I have to show you today, but I will be dyeing some more today and tomorrow to go in the shop on Friday, on the 6th, and today's the 5th, and I just realized, Happy Cinco de Mayo, everybody! Drink responsibly tonight, have fun, and I'm totally digressing right now, but anyway, it's Cinco de Mayo, and I just realized that. But yes, there will be more yarn in the shop tomorrow, and FYI, the Yarn Club shipments have all gone out last week, so you should all have them, and if you have not received them because you're international, you should be receiving them very soon. But so far, everyone has been loving the colorway. I did not dye one up for myself yet, but I am smitten with it, and I hope you are enjoying it. So, yay! Cannot wait to see what you guys make with that. And just to answer a couple questions, because I have been getting a couple of emails, the Yarn Club colorways for the Gory Details Yarn Club will be available in the shop 3 months from now. So in August 2016, I will make some of those. I haven't decided which colorways yet, but Assaulted by Bears will definitely be one of the regulars. But yes, those will be available come August. So yay, cannot wait. But yeah, other than that, I think that is it for shop update. I hope you can make it. Again, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. But otherwise, I'm going to move along to blather because, you know, there's some stuff going on in my life. I totally forgot to mention that Dennis and I had gone to our niece and nephews for Passover, which was really lovely. This was, I believe, 2 weekends ago. We went down to Pennsylvania to visit them and Dennis's brother and his wife, and I got to see my in-laws, and you know, it was just a really fun time. So great to see them. This weekend we are going to my niece's communion. She's making her very first communion, and yeah, it's been a while since I've seen her too, so that will be really exciting. They're going to do the ceremony in the morning, and then we're all going out to, I'm sure, a big Italian dinner, so that'll be a lot of fun. It'll be great to see her, and after that, yeah, then Sarah will come home, and then on Sunday, Dennis has his band is playing a show, so that'll be fun. Hopefully they don't go on too late, so it is a school night. but anyway, I'm trying to think what else. Yeah, I feel like a lot is going on this week. I'm looking at my calendar over there, which, by the way, Jenny from the Tiny Paper Foxes podcast got me this Edward Gorey calendar, and I cannot tell you how much it has come in handy. I just put all my stuff on there, and I just have to look at it and know what's going on without having to, go onto Google Calendar. It's so easy. Who knew? But anyway, thank you for that. And but otherwise, I'm trying to think. Yeah, vacation is coming around the corner. Memorial Day weekend, Dennis and I are going away, which will be fun. So I did want to mention that I will not be having a shop update for the week of the 23rd and the 30th. Those weeks I'm taking a break. So even yarn dyers need to take vacation, guys. But yeah, leading up to that, I will be having, because I will not be having a normal international shop update, the international shop update for this month will be on the 21st, and the final regular shop update will be on the 13th. So, but anyway, I'll talk more about that once we get closer to the date. I usually post about this stuff on Instagram, so just keep an eye on that. And yeah, I'm trying to think what else is going on. Tonight, I am going over to my friend Amy's house. She contacted me and she's like, she contacted me. She texted me and she's like, hey, I'm getting rid of a lot of fabric. Do you want to come over and, see if you want any? So I was like, hell yes, I'll be right over. So that's what's going on tonight. It'll be good to see her because I don't get to see her as often anymore. But other than that, yeah, it's just going to be, May is busy. It feels like a busy month, which is crazy, which is why vacation cannot come soon enough. I am super stoked for it. And yeah, but otherwise, that is pretty much what's going on here. Oh, no, wait, there's more, you guys. Last weekend, I forgot to mention that Dennis and I, it's nothing like major or anything like that, but yeah, Dennis and I, we went out to dinner. Last weekend was fun. I have to say, it was really fun. We kind of had a date night on Saturday, and we went out to dinner, and then while we were having dinner, we were talking about, it's been a while since we went to the movies. Why don't we go to see a movie? So it was kind of late. It was already like 9:30 at night or whatever. But I checked on my phone to see what was playing at our movie theater, and The Huntsman, Winter's War was playing, and that was kind of a movie I really wanted to see, even though we haven't been to the movies in so long. Personally, I really don't enjoy going to the movies. I like to enjoy them at home where I don't have to be somewhere at a certain time and deal with crowds and people. But, I guess it was one of those nights where you're like, let's get out, let's do something fun. So, Dennis was like, yeah, I like the first one, so let's go see this one. So, we got our tickets and, we go to the theater, and it was a really good movie, you guys. It was kind of empty. I think it's been out for a while, but it was my cup of tea, I have to say. It was a really fun movie. It had everything in it, like the costumes, you guys, the costumes. I think I'm going to be going as the Ice Queen for Halloween because it was amazing. Yeah, Charlize Theron was in it, Emily Blunt, the dude who plays Thor, I can never remember his name. Oh, goodness, why? He's Thor, though. If you know who I'm talking about. Jessica Chastain was in it. But yeah, I love the storyline. It had a couple of plot holes because if you saw the first one, you're gonna see this one and be like, huh? But even if you didn't see the first one, you would totally know what was going on. Anyway, totally rambling, but you know what I mean. Definitely recommend it. Maybe not suitable for young children, but definitely a good time. They had fairies. It was like magic, and I love it. I could see it again. It was just so great. Yeah, but anyway, I'm rambling. So with that said, I will leave you and say happy knitting, and I totally got that out of order. So anyway, but I will see you next time, and happy knitting. Bye.